and welcome to another Lawn Fawn video. Today we are so excited to be introducing our brand new stamp set, Little Woodland Library. This stamp set of course has coordinating dies, and we also have coordinating coloring stencils for this stamp set too, which is so awesome. We're also going to be introducing our Little Woodland Library Add-On stamp set, coordinating dies, and coloring stencils too. Then we'll take a look at our brand new stitched rounded rectangle stackables. We have them both in a large and small size, and we'll show you how these work together and with our original stitched rectangle stackables too. So let's go ahead and check all of these fun new things out. First, we're going to take a look at Little Woodland Library, and this stamp set is so cute. Look at that little free library. I love it so much. And then we have these adorable critters reading books. So we have this little like mama and baby bunny. We have a cute little squirrel and fox with their noses in their books. We also have a skunk wearing glasses, which is just the cutest thing ever, and this cute little mole reading a book too. We also have some very cute little bookworms in kind of two different positions so that you can place them around your adorable book-themed scenes. We have a stack of books, of course, and then we have this big open book, which is really cute for putting the worms behind to have them reading the book, or really any critter in your stash too. Then, of course, we have a smaller book, and then a little tuft of grass that you can add to your scenes to help fill that in, and then some cute little eyeglasses, and you can actually stamp those eyeglasses onto the bunny. I'll show you that in a little bit. Now, for this little free library, we have some little images you can put on the top. We have an open book, we have a heart, and then we also have the phrase Little Library. We also have a cute little acorn that you can add into the top as well, and I like putting the heart and the acorn onto the book too. I think that's super, super cute. Next up, we have a cute little smiley face, which is perfect for adding to the books. And then we also have a little book title here, and this says Fairy Tales, but Tails, which is just adorable and so sweet. And then we have this really, really cute little owl reading a book as well, and then another pair of glasses. So it's so much fun to mix and match these cute little book reading critters together in fun scenes. We have all these cute little tiny words. We have squint for the mole and also holy moly for the mole. We have what a hoot, which is so cute with the owl. We also have I love books, because who doesn't? Then we have find your happy place, which I know reading is my happy place. We have hello bookworm, which is so cute with the worms, of course. And then books are stinking awesome, which is adorable with that sweet little skunk. We have I'm nuts for book, which is perfect for the squirrel. And then we have these great mix and match sentiments. So we have I hope your day is, or you are. And then we have the phrase literally the best, which I just love it so much. So you can mix and match it with either one. Or you can also say you are tops in my book. And then we have the phrase teacher, so you can put teacher in front of all of these to make these really, really cute teacher cards too. And then this phrase just cracks me up. We have sorry, this card is overdue. And then we have two different exclamation points in two different sizes for the two different sizes of fonts that we have in the set. Now it's time to add some color to these adorable images. And first up, I'm going to be using my Copic markers, but in just a little bit, I'm going to show you the brand new coloring stencils too. And so right now I'm coloring in this adorable little free library. And what I love about little free libraries is I've seen them in all different colors. So it's a great way to bring a pop of color to your card design. So here I'm doing a turquoise, but of course you could use brown for woods, or you could do white or red or any color in your imagination. And then for the roof and the little post there, I'm going to use some browns, and then a light brown for around the sort of door of it and a darker brown for the knob. And then for behind the books, I'm going to cover this in a warm gray here, a light gray marker over the brown to make it look like you're looking through the glass of the door to the back of the books. And then for all of these books, I'm going to do them in kind of a fun rainbow color order here, which I think just looks adorable. Then we'll add some color to the little book and acorn and heart that you can layer onto either the books or onto the little free library. I just love this little mom and baby bunny, and so I'm going to be doing some light browns for them, but of course they'd be cute in whites or grays. Oh my gosh, they're just so adorable. I think this image is so sweet, and that's one of the things that I love about this stamp set is that you could just use one of the critters on their own on a card, or you can mix and match them together, which is so super cute. Like it's a little forest of reading critters. Now I added some rosy cheeks to them, and now I'm going to add color to the book. And the book is another place to bring pops of color to your card. So you can have it match the pattern paper you're using, or maybe the recipient's favorite color. I just love that you can do so many fun things with adding color to these cute little guys. Now I'm going to add some color to this adorable little squirrel, and I love that his nose is inside the book. Oh my gosh, it just makes me smile. And then for the book, I'm going to use kind of an orangey red. So once again, I can just kind of play around with the colors. Now in this case, what I did for all of the colors of the books is I used use the same colors that I used to color the books in the Little Free Library because I like the idea of like that they had taken the book out of the library and now they're reading that book. I just thought that was really fun. Now we're gonna add some color to this super cute fox, and I love these YR20s here for foxes. I just think they look so, so beautiful. And then we're gonna go ahead and add a really light brown around the face and tail, and then some rosy cheeks and a pink ear. And then I'm gonna bring in the same blue that I used in the Little Blue Library to add some blue to the book. Now for the pages of the books, I'll either use a light warm gray or a light brown for the pages just to give them a little bit of extra color. Now we're gonna work on this super cute skunk, and I just love the glasses. I just think it's so cute. And so we're gonna add some kind of darker grays there to be the black part of the skunk, and then some warm grays to the white part of the skunk. And then of course we'll give him some rosy cheeks and pink ears and nose. And then I like using a really light kind of turquoisey or blue marker for just put a little bit on the glasses, just to make them look like they're a little bit reflective. And then we're gonna bring in that green, the same green that we used in the Little Free Library to add color to his book. Now for this little mole, oh my gosh, he's so cute. And what I like to do for his hands and his feet is I bring in the kind of a pinky color, and then I just go over the pink with a really light gray, and that kind of makes it look like a mole. I think it's so cute. So a little pink with a little gray on top, and look at him. I mean, he is just adorable. Now next up, we're going to do these little worms, and I like to kind of alternate the color in the different parts of them, a darker and a lighter version of each color. And so I'm going to do one worm in green and one in orange, because why not? I just think these little bookworms are just too cute. Now this little stack of books is just perfect for setting the scene. So we're going to be adding the same rainbowy colors to these books that we've been using so that once again, everything coordinates really nicely. And I just think this is so pretty. And then right here, I had a little helper, my son Miles, he's 4, and he made this card, and oh my goodness, I just love his coloring. He did such a good job, and this cute little apple tree would be adorable with some book scenes as well, so I just love it. I just had to share. And now, of course, I have my little helper on my lap as I finish coloring in all of these cute images, bringing in some blues and some greens, and you can see him kind of just helping me decide what we're going to color each part of these fun images. I love this open book because the little bookworms are kind of meant to go behind it. I'll show you that in a little bit, but you could take any critter from your stash and put it behind that open book too, and it would look really, really adorable reading the book. Now we'll add some green to the grass, and then of course we're going to add some color to our adorable little owl. And so I'm using kind of a darker brown for his wings and the top of his head, and then a lighter brown there for his face, just kind of blending around. And then of course we can bring in an orange for his beak and his feet. And then for the glasses, I always like to do a little bit of kind of a light blue on the glasses and then some warm gray for the pages of the book. And then I'm going to bring in that purple again. I was in a purple mood today, and I thought the purple looked really nice with the owl. Now we're going to take a look at the Little Woodland Library Add-On. And this add-on has this super cute book, and then it also has a butterfly. And then in the butterfly trail, it says Butterfly in the Sky. And if you are a Reading Rainbow fan, that's a little nod to Reading Rainbow. And then what we have is some really fun book titles that you can add to the book in this stamp set. So we have If You Give a Squirrel a Nut, The Very Hungry Bookworm, Of Mice and Men. We didn't really have to change the title for that one. Acorns of Wrath. This one always cracks me up. We also have Forest Tales, which is so super cute for these books. And then we have Goodnight Woods. We have Harry Potter to go along with our bunnies. And then we also have Fox and Socks, which is perfect for our cute little fox. Then we also have Love and Peace, which is so sweet. And then you can see the word flip there, which is perfect for flipping the pages, and then a little music note that you can add around the butterfly in the sky there. And you can see you can add those little phrases into that book, but you can also add the phrases into the book that the fox is holding from the Little Woodland Library main set. So I love that you can mix and match these. The other really cool thing is that these phrases fit inside our brand new book collection dies, and I'll show you in the video coming up how that works together too. So now we're going to add some color to these cute little images. So I'm going to color a purple book here. And this book is a little bit larger than the book in the other stamp set. So I like that you can mix and match a smaller book and a larger book, maybe like a paperback and a hardcover. And then we'll add some nice bright yellow to that cute little butterfly. And here you can see how you can mix and match these stamp sets together. And I love that you have the cutest little book titles to add to your sets. Now here we have the coordinating dies, which you can bend apart at the tabs or use your wire snips to separate. We're going to line those up with our stamped images, hold it in place with some low-tack tape, then we can run it through the die cut machine and we'll have perfectly cut out images every time. And then here is a look at all of the images in this set. Oh my goodness, they are just so adorable, and there's so many ways to mix and match them. You can either stamp those tiny little images into your little free library, or you can die cut them and layer them over top, which I think is a super cute look. Here you can see the little glasses by the guys reading and the little worm behind the book. He's a little bookworm. It's so cute. Of course, you can layer all the cute books around the cute reading critters, and you can just mix and match all of these different things. You can use it with the little free library or without the little free library. Everything just looks adorable. I love it so much. Now these are the coordinating dies for the Little Woodland Library Add-On, which you can bend apart at the tabs or use your wire snips to separate. You can line them up with your stamped images, then run them through your die cut machine, and you'll have perfectly cut out images every time. And then these are the images from that mini add-on, the butterfly in the sky with the cute butterfly and the music note, and of course that little book that you can stamp all the different book titles into. And then here I wanted to show you how cute it is to layer these images from the add-on with the original stamp set. So you can see how you can make cute little scenes and then add that big book, which I think is just adorable. And of course you can add all of those book titles into the book or into the fox's book too. Now here you'll see we had all of our cute images, and Miles here was reminding me that we have awesome coloring stencils. And if you haven't watched our intro to coloring stencils yet, definitely check it out. I am going to link it in the description below. But right now, we're going to take a look at the coloring stencils for Little Woodland Library. And the Little Woodland Library coloring stencils is a set of 4. And you'll see that these are created in a 4-inch by 6-inch size so that they're the exact size of your stamp set so that they're really easy to store with your stamp set no matter how you store your stamps. You can see that we have etched in details with all of the cute little critters so that they're really easy to line up. Then of course we also have a little mini coloring stencil for our mini stamp set. And here once again you can see the cute little book and the etched details that help you line these all up. So let's go ahead and check out these Little Woodland Library coloring stencils. Now these coloring stencils have a stencil for every single image in the Little Woodland Library stamp set, which is so awesome. We're going to focus on 3 of the images here, but there are stencils for every single one in the stamp set. Now here I'm going to show you a little trick that I like to do with the little library stencil. So you'll see here that I have a piece of Post-it note tape, or you could use a full stick Post-it, and I'm going to stamp this cute little library right on there. And I'm making sure to get the window part of the library, the little door there, onto that Post-it note. And I just put the Post-it note on a piece of paper so that it would be easier to cut. Then I'm just going to cut that little window or door opening there of the little free library. And this is going to give me a mask so that I can really change up my colors and do a lot of different colors onto my little free library using my coloring stencils. So I just went and cut that out. It was really easy because it was mostly rectangular. And then I'm just going to peel up that Post-it note. And now this is a mask that I can use over and over again. And so I'm just going to layer it right over top of the window onto my little free library there. So we're just going to layer that right on top. And now I can start to work on my stenciling. Now you could do this without this little mask because you could just be a little bit more careful about your stenciling, but I like doing the mask. That way I can just add all the ink I want. So right now we're going to go ahead and start layering over these things. And I'm using some minty fresh ink, and I'm going off of the stencil and then on to the image. And you'll see that there's etched details that help you line up all of these different things onto your little free library and all of the images into this super cute stamp set. And so I'm just bringing on some of that minty fresh ink and just building up the color around. And you'll see just how cute that is looking. Now that we've added that color, we're going to go ahead and start working on the roof and also the post. And so for this one, I'm going to use some sugar cookie ink, which is a nice light brown. And I'm going to brush that ink over the stencil again. I like going in little circular motion. And then you'll see I'm adding a little bit more ink toward the outside edges just to give it a little bit of shading. So I'll have a little bit of darker ink there towards the outside of the post, and then I'll go lighter towards the other side. And it's already looking so amazing. So now we can go ahead and peel up that little mask that we created. And what I like to do with the masks is I actually store them on my stamp set. So I'm just going to take and just add it right to my stamp set. And now I have a mask ready to go anytime that I want to use it. So now that we've done that, we're going to start working on the rest of the stenciling. And you'll see that you can just kind of work your way down the stencil to get to all of the different parts of these cute little images. So now here for this part, I am just using a light gray color. I'm actually just using a brush that I had used gray, and just whatever was left on the brush I'm using for that door. And then now we're going to work on the back behind the books. And so I'm going to use that same sugar cookie ink that we used for the roof and the post, but I'm just going to make sure that I add that ink a little bit darker on so that it feels a little bit darker towards behind the back of the books. So I love how easy this is to stencil, and there's something really fun about working your way down the stencil. It's just really cute and really adorable. Now again, for the same thing, I'm using the same color ink pad, which is awesome. I'm just bringing on more color so that that little knob is a little bit darker. Now here I'm going to bring in a little bit of a rainbow of inks. I'm using some lobster ink for my red book, and then I'm going to use some sunflower for my yellow book, and then I'm going to use some freshly cut grass for the green book, and you'll see that I'm just kind of working my way down my stencil. I'm taking out stencil 2 of 4 here, and that's going to be the rest of my little library that's going to help me fill in all these little books. Here we're going to use a nice fish tank, which is a nice blue color, and then some fresh lavender for the purple, and you can see just how cute this little library is looking. Oh my gosh, I just love it so much. Now here you'll see me, I was searching around, I'm looking for my owl, and I can easily tell because it's all etched there. And now here I'm going to go ahead and start adding some color. And so for the wings and the top of the owl, I'm using some pizza crust color, and you can see I just kind of kept bringing the ink on. And you can really be messy with this. It's almost like the messier the better. That's what's going to give you that really pretty gradient. And you'll see that for every single one of these colors, I am just using one shade of these colors, but I'll show you a little trick later how you could use 2 shades if you wanted, but I'll show you that in just a little bit. So here we're going to bring in some carrot there for his beak and his little feet there, and then now we can bring in the color for the book. And then for the book here, I'm going to be using sunflower, and I'm going to start towards the bottom so that it's darker towards the bottom, and then make sure to just kind of build up that color at the bottom, and then let my brush kind of run out towards the top. Stencil even has the little detail there in the middle of the book, so I use some of that same carrot ink to kind of add a little bit of a darker color towards the spine of the book, and then I'm just using a little bit of light gray there on the book pages. And so now I'm taking out step 3 of 4. So you can just kind of look through the stencils that are included, look for the critter that you're going to use for your card. And here I am using some fake tan ink for this cute little fox. And fake tan is just the perfect color for these foxes. I mean, look how adorable he is. And we get all that beautiful shading with just one color of ink. Now I'm going to work my way down the stencil, and so we're going to add in some purple for the book here. Once again, you can see I'm doing a little bit darker towards the bottom and then lighter towards the top. And then now we're going to do the face and the tail, and I'm just using a little bit of light gray on there, and then a little bit of light gray for the book pages too. Now, one thing I like to do is come in with a pink marker and just add some rosy cheeks onto these stencil critters, and I think it makes them look so adorable. Now, just like we have the stencils for the Little Woodland Library, and of course there's a stencil for every single image in that set, we also have the stencils for this super cute add-on too. So we have the book and the butterfly in this set. And here you can see I went ahead and die cut them with the dies, and look how gorgeous these are. Oh my gosh, the stenciling turned out so beautiful. I love how soft and gorgeous it is. And I wanted to add some cute little details onto these with the stamps that are included in this set. So in the Little Woodland Library stamp set, there's this phrase that says Little Library, and I just love stamping on that on here. So I'm going to go ahead and stamp it in some black ink right at the top of the library. And then for the books that the critters are holding, we can use the different book titles. Now there is a book title that's included in the original stamp set, but then of course we have the add-on with all of the adorable little book titles, and I just love the Very Hungry Bookworm. I think that is just too cute. So I went ahead and stamped that on that book, and that book is from the add-on stamp set. And now I'm going to use one of the other book titles, but this time I am going to be using it onto the fox. So I like that you can mix and match the add-on and the original set together, and this one says Forest Tales, which I thought was a really cute book for this adorable little fox to be reading. Now, as we stenciled that first time, we just used one color of ink for each part of the stencil, but I wanted to show you that if you wanted to step it up, you can. So I'm just going to add a little adhesive to the back of my little library just to help hold it down onto my work surface. Now I'm going to bring my stencil back, and this time I'm going to take some merman ink, which is a little bit of a darker turquoisey color, and I'm just going to bring that in around the edges of my stencil. So just being super, super easy with it, just kind of going around the edges. You don't have to be super perfect about it, but it's just going to give it a little bit more of that shaded look. Then we can do the same thing for the wood. So I'm going to take pizza crust, which is a little bit darker than the sugar cookie we used originally, and I'm just going to add a little bit onto the edge of each of these to give it the gradient look. Now that we've used 2 colors of ink on these, you get a little bit of a different look. And then I like going in with my white gel pen and just adding some cute little white gel pen details. And then here, I just wanted to show you a little comparison between the one I colored with Copics and the one that I stenciled. Both are absolutely gorgeous. I think they look just stunning. I mean, they're just so much fun. So whether you like to color with markers, or you like to stencil, or you like to do both, these are just such an awesome way to add color to your favorite images, and I just love these little woodland libraries. And we're going to create with them in just a second, but first I want to show you a brand new stackable stamp set. And we haven't had a brand new stackable in a while, but these are our stitched rounded rectangles. And we have have them in a large size and a small size, and they follow the same sizes as our original stitch rectangle. So they're all based off of a standard size card. 5.5 by 4.25 is the largest, and they go down in sizes so that you can layer them to create these really beautiful rounded rectangle looks. I think these rounded rectangles just add a totally different look to a card. It's a really fun layer, and here you can see how the two different sets can layer together in such a beautiful way. So you can mix and match these, you can layer them together. The little small one is really great for sentiments. There's so many cool ways to use these. And I wanted to show you how they relate to the original stitched rectangles. So here we have our original stitched rectangles, and we're going to go ahead and die cut the largest, which again is 5.5 by 4.25 inches, a standard size card size. And now you can see how the largest of the rectangles, of the rounded ones, looks very similar size because it is the same size as the original one. It just has that really cool rounded detail, and they both have that gorgeous stitching. And so what I like about these is that you can mix and match them together in any which way. So here you can see how you can take the rounded rectangle and actually layer it onto one of the original standard rectangle sizes. So you can really mix and match these in such fun ways, and that's what I really love, is matching the original rectangle with the rounded. Oh my gosh, I just think it looks beautiful. So now that we've taken a look at these awesome rounded rectangles, we're going to start creating a card with the Little Woodland Library. I went ahead and brought out some of the images that we stamped and colored earlier, and now we're going to go ahead and add some stamping just like we did earlier on our stenciled images. So we're going to stamp the little library into the library. We're going to stamp some book titles like The Very Hungry Bookworm and also The Forest Tales right into the cute little fox. You can also do things like stamping cute little images onto the books too, so you can see how we've stamped the acorn or the heart into the book too. So there's so many fun ways to decorate these books, and we've gone ahead and done that. And then I wanted to show you one other way to use the cute little glasses in the set. So of course you can die cut them and kind of have it next to the critters like their reading glasses are off to the side. But these glasses here, you can actually stamp them directly onto the bunny, which I think is so cute. So you just kind of layer it right over the bunny and you can stamp it right on, and you'll see just how adorable. This reminds me of me and my son Miles with my reading glasses on. So cute and so sweet. So now that we have all of these adorable images, we're going to start working on our card. And we're going to be starting off here with the largest of the outside in stitch rectangles, and we're going to die cut some white cardstock, and then we're going to create a fun cloudy background using the cloudy stencil. And I love this cloudy stencil because it's so quick and easy to use, and it always just blows my mind how beautiful it is. And I'm using some merman ink here, and I'm starting on the stencil and then working my way off onto my cardstock. And each side of the stencil has a different shaped cloud onto it. And so I'm just kind of moving it around, switching between the different designs so that you get this really cool dynamic cloud shape. So here you can see I'm just kind of checking to see which one should I use next. Nope, this one. Okay. Then we'll just add some ink right on there, and it just looks absolutely gorgeous. I just love how it turns out. Next, this beautiful sky needs some green grass. So I went ahead and took some algae cardstock and I die cut it with that same largest outside in stitch rectangle so that they have the same size and the same beautiful stitching. And I'm going to die cut this with the grassy border die. So I'm just kind of looking at it kind of as a guide. I'm going to layer exactly where I want it. We'll run it through the die cut machine, and now we have this super cute grass to layer in the scene. So I'll just add some adhesive to that and then layer that right into this scene that's now perfect for our Little Woodland Library. And there's a lot of cute dies in my stash that are perfect to go with this Little Woodland Library. And this treehouse, oh my gosh, it is just a perfect match. And right now I am recreating a card by Audrey. So thank you so much, Audrey. I just love how gorgeous this treehouse is with these super cute woodland critters. So I'm going to take the treehouse and die cut it from some wood grain cardstock. The tops of the trees are going to be from that same algae. And then here we have some chocolate bar cardstock, and we're going to cut the little details of the treehouse with those. And then just to give these little pieces a little extra punch, we're going to do some inking on them. So we're going to take some clover ink and just ink the edges of this algae cardstock on all of those little tree tops. And then for our tree house, we're going to take some walnut ink and just ink that. And I like the walnut ink on that wood grain cardstock because it really brings out the detail in it. I like doing inking like this on different colors of cardstock because it just gives it that little extra oomph, but it's so quick and easy to do and really fun to do too. So now we're going to add some of the details that are included in this treehouse die set. We're going to add the details for the door and for the window, which looks so super cute. And then we can take this whole tree and add it into the scene. This treehouse is so much fun with these cute little woodland library critters, but you could also do the birch tree dies or the birch tree stencil, the leafy tree backdrop or the spooky tree backdrop, or even our lift the flap tree backdrop. There's so many different ways to mix and match some awesome dies in your stash with this brand new Little Woodland Library. So here you can see I'm adding those fluffy little tree tops onto the tree, which is looking so super cute already. And now we can start to add our images into the scene. And here I decided to use the Woodland Library that I stenciled. I thought the stenciling turned out so pretty. And so I'm going to be mixing and matching some pieces that are stenciled and some pieces that are colored with markers. And I love that you can do that too for some cool different looks. So we're going to be adding some foam squares on the back of a lot of these images. That way our tree house is in the background and then our cute little critters are in the foreground. And I went ahead and added some foam squares to that little worm and then layered that little book on the either side of the library. And now, of course, we have our fox reading in front of his cute little treehouse, which I just love so much. And now we can layer in this little skunk. And I just love how you can mix and match these cute little critters in so many ways. And then I love filling in the scenes with the little books or the stacks of books. It just makes the whole thing really come to life. Now we're going to add that pretty butterfly for a pop of color and then that phrase that says butterfly in the sky for a little nod to the show Reading Rainbow. And then we need a cute sentiment. And the good thing is this stamp set has a ton of cute sentiments. And for this one, we're going to be doing You Are Literally the Best, which is so much fun. So I'm just going to put those two together. I love that there's so many mix and match sentiments here. And then we can go ahead and stamp that out in some black licorice ink. Then I'm going to take a sentiment banner die and line that up with the image so that the flag is on the right side and then on the other side it's just going to be a flat edge and that's going to line up with the edge of my card. So I just went ahead and ran that through the die cut machine and then we're going to be layering this over the tree and we're going to add some foam squares to this once again for a little extra pop and also so that we can tuck the squirrel in. And I love the idea of the squirrel sitting in the top of the tree reading his book and so we're going to tuck that behind the sentiment and I just think that looks so adorable. It kind of brings the whole thing in together. Now for the base of this card, we're going to use some of this brand new Falling Leaves paper. And there's these really great kind of gingham colors there. And we're going to use the green for that. And then here we have a standard size card base at 5.5 by 4.25. So we'll add some tape runner to that. And then we can layer our pattern paper onto that. Then we're going to take our whole panel and we're going to add a bunch of foam squares to the back. And I was laughing because I put way too many foam squares. I was just kind of on a roll, but that's okay. We'll peel up the liner paper and then we can layer that onto the card. And I really like the pop of this with that green in the background. I just think it looks so pretty, so foresty, and so much fun. Oh my gosh. I mean, that little library, I can't, every time I look at this set, I can't stop smiling. I can't tell you guys, I look at it all day and it just makes me smile all day. It's just so cute. Of course, we have our little stenciled library and then other critters that were colored with markers. So you can mix and match those in any which way that you would like. And these just cards turn out so much fun. Now, we have made a card that was outside, but I want to take these critters inside. So we're going to be recreating a card by Elena that was so super cute, and she brought in furniture from some favorite sets. She brought out Window Scene Winter and Den Sweet Den. And we're going to be adding some fabric onto these images by stamping them onto some What's Sewing On paper. So you can take a look at your pattern paper stash and find some pretty pattern papers to create the perfect floral couch. So we're going to go ahead and stamp on that pattern paper and die cut it. And we're going to do the same thing with the little pillow that's included in this set too. And so we're going to stamp that on some more of this paper. This paper is really good for that fabric look because it really looks like it was stitched and it's so pretty. I just love playing with this furniture. It makes me feel like I'm playing like paper dolls or something. It's just so cute. Now in this Den Sweet Den stamp set, there is a cute little lamp and there's also a little frame and it has a phrase inside of it. And years ago, I went ahead and cut that phrase out so that I can stamp it with or without the phrase. And in this case, I wanted to stamp it without the phrase. Then I can just add some color to the outside edge to make it look like a wooden frame. And then we'll just die cut that after we color in the inside a little bit blue so that we can layer a cute little critter into there. I'll show you what we'll do in just a second. Now to give the furniture a little more oomph so it kind of matches the coloring that we did on the lamp and the frame, I'm just going to take a light blue marker that's just a little bit darker than the actual couch and we're just going to add some details around the edges. And there's no right or wrong way to do this. No matter how you do it, it's going to look good because it kind of looks like a worn couch, which is really cool. And then I'm just going to take some brown marker to add some wooden legs for the couch. And then we'll take a yellow marker that's a little bit darker than the pillow to add that detail onto the pillow as well. I went ahead and stamped and colored and die cut a bunch of images from the set. I even stamped Fox and Socks into the Fox's book, which is so super cute. And here I have the little worm, and I'm going to put him into the frame. And I'm going to do this by just kind of trimming off the bottom edge of him so that it looks like it's just like a picture that's been just kind of cut off. It's really going to make him look more like he's in the picture frame. So I trimmed off the bottom, and then I realized that he was a little bit too long. So I went ahead and just trimmed off the edge of him as well. And once you have this, it really is going to make him look look like he's a part of the frame. I just think this is so cute. And so then we can just add some tape runner behind him and layer him. And now we'll have a cute little picture frame of their favorite bookworm for this little indoor scene that we're creating. So the next thing we need is some wallpaper. And so we're going to be using some Rainbow Ever After paper. There's this really great rainbow stripe, and on the back is this pretty yellow. And so we're going to layer this onto a standard size card that's 5.5 by 4.25. Then we'll die cut a stitched rectangle frame here, the largest one, so that it matches the size of the standard size card. We're going to die cut that from some white cardstock. And then we're going to take the largest stitched rectangle. Again, all of these are 5.5 by 4.25, and I'm going to die cut some white wood grain paper. This is going to be our floor, and I'm actually going to die cut it like this, just a part of the cardstock. We don't need a really big piece because this is going to be the floor for our card. And then by using that stitching there, it's going to kind of make it look like a little baseboard of the floor. So I think that's going to be really cute. Then for this frame, I'm taking that same light blue marker that I used to add detail to the couch, and I'm just adding some light blue to the inside of this frame just to make it kind of feel like a picture frame, I guess. I just thought that would be kind of a cool look and really help this kind of pop on the card. Now we can add some tape runner onto our floor and layer it on there. And I love this look of having that stitching at the top of this piece because it really does make it look like a little baseboard. Then we can go ahead and bring in our whole little dollhouse that we're creating here. We've got cute little critters, we've got our picture frame and everything else. And then I'm just going to take a white gel pen and add some details on to all of our images, the one that we colored, the one that we paper pieced, and that's just going to help them pop on the card. I just love these little white gel pen details. They look so cute. Then we can start to add some foam squares to the back to give everything a nice pop. So we're going to add some foam squares onto the couch. And then right now I'm just layering the frame on there just so I can kind of see exactly how things are going to look on the card. I'm going to take the mama and baby bunny, which is one of my favorites because it always makes me think of myself and my son. And we're going to layer them into the into the couch, I mean. And then we're going to add the little pillow and the lamp to help set our living room scene. And then of course we're going to add our little frame there. And now you can see this whole little room is coming to life. I mean, how cute is this place? I just love it. I want a couch just like that. We're going to take this stack of books and layer that in. I love the stack of books and the individual books because they really kind of help set the scene. And then we've got our little fox friend who's reading on the floor. Next, we're going to stamp out the phrase, "You are tops in my book." And then I'm going to use a awesome banner die again to die cut this. And just like we did earlier, we're going to have the flag on one side and then a straight edge on the other. So I'm just going to hold that in place with some low tack tape, and then we can run it through the die cut machine. And then we'll have this super cute sentiment that has that little flagged end. And then we're just going to layer that right into the floor, just like this. And this is so cute. It's super quick and easy to make. And oh my gosh, is this just not the most adorable card you've ever seen? Now we're going to take that open book and kind of layer that in there just to kind of help bring the sentiment into the scene. And then we can add some tape runner to the frame and then layer that onto the card. And this is just looking adorable. Now, there's some brand new book club washi tape, which is one of my favorite things ever. And so we're going to decorate the inside of the card with this washi tape. I love using it on envelopes, but I like to use it to decorate the inside of my cards too. And this little bookshelf, I mean, is this not the cutest thing you've ever seen? So I'm going to add that onto the card, and then I'm just going to kind of flip it over to the other side just to give a nice finished edge. And then in this stamp set, there's a phrase that says, "Sorry, this card is overdue." And I have a tendency to be late with all of my cards, so I need to stamp this in this card. And I think that just looks super, super cute on the inside. If you're sending something a little bit late, whether it's a thank you or a birthday, it's a perfect way to do that. And now this card is all done. And I mean, oh my gosh, look at that little indoor scene. Look at the bookshelf with the washi tape. Oh, it just makes me smile. And next up, Shari is going to take these critters and combine them with one of my favorite brand new die sets. So take it away, Shari.
So for my card today, I am pairing some of the Little Woodland Library critters with the new book collection dies. And you can see I have my books cut out here in a rainbow of colors. Here are those book collection dies that I used. And I will apologize for my voice today. I did return from vacation with a bit of a cold, so I'm sorry about that. I did want to show you that this little book here, I actually shortened a little bit. So I am going to line my die back up right where those little lines that cut the details stop short of the end of the book. And this is just going to make a shorter book. I'm making a little book fort on my card today for my little critters to hide in, and I just needed this one to be a little shorter than it is. So now we have a little short orange book here. And this is cut from some fake tan cardstock. I will try to tell you the colors of my cardstock when I assemble my books together. Now we do need to do some assembly with some of these books because they have openings cut in them. Like this red one here, this is cut from one of the reds from the textured cardstock red pack. And I'm layering it over a pink solid book, and that will fill in those little holes and that little kind of oval shaped opening as well. Now for this book, I cut this from some of the blue textured cardstock, and I'm layering it over a light blue. Now these books are exactly the same, but the little holes are in different spots, so when you line them up, it will fill in the holes. Then we have our books that are on the side, and I cut the pages from some speckled eggshell cardstock. And then I've cut the book cover and spine that wraps around those pages from some purple cardstock from the textured canvas purple pack. I also have some green, I believe this is cilantro. And then I have some mermaid for that other book. Once my books are assembled, I'll just set those aside. Now for my little animals that I have already colored and cut out with the coordinating dies, I'm adding some titles to the book for the little squirrel that says Fairy Tales, and then I've also pulled out the Little Woodland Library Add-On that has a bunch of other titles for the books, and I stamped Forest Tales on the one that the fox is reading, and I'll just put all of these pieces aside until I'm ready to assemble my card. Now for the background of my card, I'm using some paper from the Pint Size Pattern Summertime collection, and then also some of that wood grain pattern paper. And I'm using the largest cross-stitch rectangle stackable. This is not one I reach for often, but I like those little cross-stitch details around the edge, and I decided to change it up from my regular stitch rectangle and pull those out. Now, this is going to be my ground down here, so I'm just trimming it down a little bit so it's a little bit shorter. And this is going to go along the bottom of that blue panel. I am going to do a little bit of inking right along that top edge with some walnut ink. Now I can put this panel from the Pint Size Patterns Summertime collection right onto my card base, and then I will layer that wood grain pattern paper right along the bottom. And now we've created the base for our scene. Now, as I said earlier, I'm going to create a little fort out of books, and this is where my little mole that's reading a book is going to be hiding and reading. So I wanted to shade this in and make it look like it's darker inside this little cave of books. So I place my books where I'm going to put them. I've traced lightly with a pencil kind of the shape where I need to do some shading, and I'm going to put some washi tape here to mask everything off. You can see that I am putting the washi tape a little bit on the outside of those pencil lines, and that's just so all my shading gets hidden behind the books once they're done. And at this point, you can erase those pencil lines. I kind of forgot and went ahead and put my shading in there. Oh, and then I remembered. It might cover it up, but just better be safe than sorry and erase those. So I'm using some mermaid ink just to add some darkness to this little trapezoid shape. And you'll see here when I add the books around it, the look that I got to have a little darkness there. So I picked a color that kind of matched the color of my background. And now I will pull off that washi tape, and you'll see I have this little dark shape here, but we're going to surround it by books and it's going to make sense here in a minute, I promise. So now I can start to add my books, and there's that little orange book that I made shorter, and now you can see why I needed it a little bit shorter. I have the yellow book, which is just cut from some sunflower cardstock. Then we have that red and pink book that I layered together earlier. And then the top of our little book fort or book cave is this purple one. And I'm using some foam strips and foam squares so that all these books have some dimension off of that background and they really look three-dimensional. So there's my little book cave, and I can continue on with the other books that are going to go to the right side of this little cave. So I've pulled out my squares for this one here. This is the blue one with the light blue layered behind. And then for these two books that are going to go on the right side, I'm actually going to glue those directly to the background with some liquid glue so that they have some dimension from the critter that I'm going to layer on top or in front of them. I do like turning my books like this so that they're not all exactly the same. So you can see I have the spines in different places on the blue book and the green book. And now I'm going to go in and start to add my critters. I almost forgot my little bookmark tassel here, so I'll add that like it's tucked in and coming out of the red book. And then for all my little critters, I will be adding these with some foam squares. For some of them, I'm using the thinner foam squares that are half the thickness just to add some different layers of dimension. So my little fox here, he's going to be layered in front of those books that I glued directly to the background, and this is why I did that, so that he wouldn't be popped up too much. Then my little worm that I put there on the left, I just glued him directly to that book. Then I have this one that's sitting up on top of the blue book. And then for my little mole, he's hiding inside my little cave I created. I'm using a thin foam square for him so he kind of looks like he's set back in there a little bit more. You could glue him directly to the background. I'll use those same thin foam squares for my rabbits because they're sitting on top of these books that I glued directly to the background. And then I'm doing the same for the little squirrel, just so he looks like he's kind of sitting back from the edge of that purple book on top. So you can get a lot of different dimension by using some different levels of foam adhesive. And then now I am going to add my favorite part of this little card, which is this little stamp that says squint. I'll stamp that in some River Rock ink right above the little mole, which I just think is so cute. When I showed this to my husband, he said that was the perfect little touch. Now for the sentiment, I am stamping the sentiment in the set that says you are literally the best. And I'm stamping this on some speckled eggshell cardstock so it matches the pages of my books. And then I will use one of the sentiment banners to cut this out. And you can see I have this kind of left justified because I am going to let it hang off the side of the card and then trim off the excess. So I'll put this on with some foam squares, and I'm just checking to make sure I don't put them over too far. And then I'm going to layer this right above all these critters, kind of in that empty space that I left up there. And then I'll just trim off that tail that hangs off the side. And then here is my finished card with the Little Woodland Library critters and those really fun book collection dies. I just think they pair so well together, and this turned out so cute.
Oh my goodness, Shari, this card is so cute. I love the book collection dies with these cute little woodland characters. Oh my gosh, it just makes me smile. And next up, we have some incredible cards by the design team. And this card by Grace is just stunning. I love how she used the den dies to create a cute little den for these critters to read in. Oh my gosh, I love it. Here, Yainea used our Lift the Tree backdrop to create the perfect little scene for these woodland characters. I love how you can tuck all of the different images inside the little holes in the trees. Little Woodland Library is a perfect match to the Swivel Surprise new interactive die. Oh my gosh, look how cute this is. As you open it up, you get your cute little reading scene. Oh, I just love it. This card by Maureen is just stunning. All of these cute characters are perfect for a slimline card. I love how she stenciled a birch tree backdrop in the background, and her cute fall theme for this card is just so sweet. This card by Tammy is absolutely adorable. I love how she used the book collection dies and she created a coordinating bookmark too. Oh, I just love it. And then this card by Elise is so sweet. I love how she has them all on the stump and all of her stacked books. Oh, it's so sweet. Megan shows us that these cute reading critters are a perfect match for virtual friends. That desk and computer looks so cute with Little Woodland Library. And then here is the card by Audrey that inspired me to make mine today. Oh my gosh, I love this little treehouse in the background. It is just so cute. Oh my goodness. This card by Mindy is just adorable. I love how she used the rounded rectangle and layered all her cute little critters. It just makes me smile. And then these stacks of books on Letitia's card are the perfect place for all of her critters to hang out on. Oh my goodness, I just love it. And then here is the card by Elena that inspired us to make this one today. It is just so cute with this adorable indoor scene. So we cannot wait to see all of your Little Woodland Library cards and all of those cool rounded rectangles, so make sure to share them with us. Thank you so much for watching today, and I hope you have an absolutely amazing day. Bye!